Kimasai tunaita ngurungu. Ngurungu mgongo yako, sisi ndio tutakusaidia, kwa sababu mara kwa mara watu wanazungumza, lakini ule mwenye ameachwa Robert, I want to tell you that we'll also be there. We support the young girl. Mimi mwenyewe nitajitolea at least nihakikishe kwamba hata kama ni secondary school mimi nitamlipia, kwa sababu sasa huyo, mimi najua mama ya Rita alitangulia, mzee alitangulia, lakini yote ni ile ambaye ni Mungu ametaja. Mimi sitazungumza mengi, lakini jambo moja tu naweza kuambia. Hii mambo ya hii fake fertilizer ni kitu ambaye inatokea sana, ni kitu ambaye inatuumiza mioyo zetu, na hii ni jambo ambalo ukiketi hapa lazima ukumbuke. Ukitakia wengine mabaya, pia wewe utapata mabaya. Hii serikali lazima ijibu maswali. Kwa nini wana dhulumu wananchi wachanga? Sehemu hiyo Lekirikrai ni sehemu ambayo ni ukulima. Mimi nikikuja kwa hii gari nasema Mungu ametubariki. Mbona mwingine akuje aanze kutuharibia riziki yetu? Ni kitu ambaye inanikera sana, na sisi tutasimama tuhakikishe ya kwamba hii serikali imekuwa accountable, na pia tuwaambia Mungu, tumwambie, unajua juzi tuliambiwa kwamba utaulizwa na Mungu. Je, wakati ulikuwa na nguvu ya kuzuia mabaya, mbona hukuzuia? Hiyo ni kitu ambaye sisi wananchi na binadamu hatuwezi kuwa na jibu, lakini Mwenyezi Mungu ndiye hai. Leo hii tukimwomba dada yetu, Mwenyezi Mungu, chukua kiboko yako kali na uchape watu ya ukora. Mungu awabariki sana. Asante.
Asante sana Senator. In the interest of time, we have a representative of the presidency who will come and give remarks on behalf of the same, and I will invite the Secretary to then invite Emmanuel Salam. After which we shall get into our mass, which we are already running late on. Thank you, Dan. Familia, the clergy, media houses and newsrooms represented, na the community, jamii ya hapa, hamjambo. God is good and all the time. Hata kama tuko mazishi tusalimiani hapa, God is good and all the time. My name is Dennis Itumbi. I see Dan has struggled a bit with my titles. Mimi ni mkubwa wa Come Here Go There. Mimi ndio nasimamia server yote ambayo wamekuwa natafuta pale State House. To the family, I stand on behalf of the Presidential Communication Service, Emmanuel Salam, Hussein Mohammed, the spokesperson, Eric Neno, the speechwriter, James Kina, Anjoli Bilai, David Zioka, and Erastus, to say pole sana. Because of the interest of time, we have had our written condolence, which we have handed over to family, try to be read from there. But allow me to say just two things which have been said very well by other people. One, that we wish to remember Rita as the queen and master of storytelling and stories of truth. Some of the stories I've heard here before I spoke are not necessarily stories of truth. Last year, because of good fertilizer, we improved the bags that have been harvested in this country from 60 million to 80 million bags. Because of good fertilizer, the demand for fertilizer has gone up by 200,000 acres. If it was bad fertilizer, demand would not have gone up. And finally, my friend Senator from Kituya said, "Iyo ni mawe na mavi ya punda." I'm lucky to have grown up in Mwaya, where we bring up donkeys. Na hata mavi ya punda tulitumia kama fertilizer. But that said, let finish by saying that there is a verse in Genesis chapter 5 verse 27 that writes about a man called Methuselah. And that's all we know about Methuselah. Hatuna kitu ingine, tunajua tu alizaliwa na akaishi miaka 696. We know nothing else. We are fortunate to come and say goodbye to Rita, who lived 46 years, and we come here to say that she has done a lot, has been described by the various newsrooms. And on that, my friend Joe, my friend Linus, my friend Ken, vijana wawili wamesimama hapa. Their voices, their demeanor shows that actually they can join journalism, at least at the very least. Tuwapatie internship if nothing else, so that they can start a journey in memory of Rita, so that at least in those newsrooms that you have said zimeachwa zikiwa empty, we can ensure that the voice of Rita is back. To the MCA, because you are the only one who basically comes from the ground here, na umesema fertilizer ni mbaya. Before I leave, please give me receipts ya wale ambao wamepata fertilizer mbaya, and I will ensure the compensation is done before I leave here. Ndio tuache uongo na tukue na stories za ukweli. God bless you and keep you. Okay, because Emmanuel Talam is holding the message of the president who has supported us in this journey, I therefore welcome Emmanuel Talam, the press secretary, to come and give the president's message.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Because of my respect and love for Rita Tinina, mimi sitaongea mambo ya mbolea. Because I have lost a father myself. Probably all of us here tumepoteza mzazi, rafiki, ndugu ama rafiki. Let me tell you, good people, I'm not saying that to cover for the government or to cover for the president, but I'm talking out of experience. Tukuwe na heshima kidogo. Huyu malkia hajui mbolea, hajui punda, hajui Ruto, hajui Wambua, na hajui wale Kina. She wants to be comforted. Mimi naitwa Emmanuel Talam. I am the press secretary in State House. Na mimi ni rafiki wa huyu mrembo dada Rita Tinina. Nimekuja kwa niaba yangu kama rafiki, kwa niaba ya wafanyakazi wote wa State House, miongoni mwao wale Dennis amewataja, na pia wale wafanyakazi wengine wakiongozwa na mfanyakazi mkubwa wa serikali ambaye ni rais wa taifa la Kenya, Mheshimiwa William Ruto, ambaye amenituma na risala za rambirambi zake na za familia yake. Tunaomba familia, ndugu na marafiki wa dada wetu Rita, just as Tinina'S was saying, to allow us to celebrate this gracious lady. It is painful, but please allow us to celebrate Rita Tinina. That if a grain of wheat does not fall to the ground and die, it remains alone. But if it falls to the ground and dies, it will grow and will bear fruit, and we shall have more wheat. When I received the 411 about the death of Rita, I asked myself the same obvious question that all of us asked. Why Rita? Why? But then, as Rita's good friend Carol Kinuthia here would say, in everything you give thanks to the Lord. Wakati wakati wale Wakristo wa zamani walikuwa nasumbuka na maneno kama haya, there are so many problems just like us, and Paul wrote the letter to them kuambia kila wakati muombe, mshukuru Mungu na mseme asante. We have come to tell the Lord thank you for the life of Rita Tinina. Tutajiuliza maswali mingi, why Rita, why now, why when she has a small baby? I can tell you, we will never get the answers. And because we cannot get the answers, tumshukuru Mungu kwamba alitupatia Rita kwa hizo miaka 44. Rita is simply a special person. As my boss and mentor Tinina'S was saying, he's also been watching out for somebody to say something negative about Rita Tinina. I have been doing the same. I have gone through all the tributes, the things that have been said by friends and colleagues of Rita. For Rita's friends and family, let me confirm what they have said about Rita is true. If you are not Rita's friend, then you are not a good person. There is a problem with you. That is simply Rita. If Rita is not your friend, you have a problem. There is a problem with you. It is difficult not to be Rita's friend. I worked with Rita in KTN. She's an amazing person. She's the most humble reporter I've worked with. For the young news producers, Ken, Zubeida, Janet, and even the senior news producers, you will agree with me that the most difficult bulletin to produce is the 1 o'clock bulletin. It looks very useless. It's the most difficult bulletin to produce. It has some pressure. You don't know where it comes from. You have 20 minutes to 1 o'clock and you have only one story. You don't know what to put on air at 1 o'clock. Rita was that reporter that you would tell her, get me 3 stories for 1 o'clock. She would get you package stories for 1 o'clock. Unajua these senior reporters wako na kiburi mingi sana. You tell them to do a story for 1 o'clock, wanasema hapana, after intern. I'm too busy, I'm working on 9 p.m. Rita would never say that. Rita would never say a story is small. During one of the last interviews that the media had with the president, and the president was asking, na huyo msichana huyo Masai alienda wapi? Because we are just talking about journalists generally, and he said, huyo msichana alienda wapi? She was a very good reporter. Tukamwambia, she's going to produce news as a news producer, sasa ako NTV. It is true, I have come to confirm that Rita was a very good journalist. Okay. I want to say just 2 things about Rita Tinina. Rita Tinina was a true professional journalist. Wakati tulikuwa tumeshikwa na wazimu wa siasa in 2005, 2006, 2007, and my mentors Joageo and Tinina'S would confirm when we had lost our senses as politicians and even as journalists, and we were all competing on who's going to ban this country. I personally, I had been attached to cover the ODM wing of the politicians that time. So when Kibaki won the election, or when according to ODM Kibaki stole the election, I took a lot of time to call Mwai Kibaki president. I had been consumed by the madness of the moment. So I called him PA News Mwai Kibaki. Tinina'S Kaikai called me and told me, Emmanuel, you are a journalist. Mwai Kibaki is president. The measure of good journalism is not in color, it is not in grammar, it is in your ability to to hide or to conceal your personal opinions in a story that you are doing. That is what Rita Tinina was able to do without instructions, without guidance. While most of us journalists, we've been branded either because of the names, because of our associations. You will all agree with me, including the politicians here, that it was very difficult to say Rita Tinina belongs to this political camp or to the other political camp. She was simply a journalist. Rita Tinina was simply a journalist. I wish Eric Latif was here. I don't know who, because I have to make some confession before burying Rita. And my good friend Robert, and my brother, take no offense. When Rita came to